Hello, everyone.
This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hey, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. We're going to go ahead and get right on into the topic, but first, a word from our sponsor.
Believe me, I will be the greatest
testosterone
producer that God ever created, and I mean that.
Sorry! This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey guys, this is the Crimson Cure, and as per usual, we are just going to jump right into the topic. As you can see, the title says, "Are BWs the Matriarchs of America?" And for those of you who have kept an eye on my community tab, I posted a very short clip, a very short video that was entitled "BWs are the Matriarchs of America." And this was on the Fox Soul channel. I do believe it was either on Fox Soul or it was on OWN. No, it was OWN. It was the OWN channel, Okra Weekfree's creation. And I kind of went in on my community tab, but I felt like that wasn't enough. I had to revisit this concept, because if melanated women are the matriarchs of America, do they even deserve that title? Because matriarch, as we understand it, is like Big Mama. Okay? Big Mama, if she was worth the salt that go in bread, looked after everybody. She was kind of the glue that held the family together. She was respected. She was able to teach the younger kids, the grandkids and stuff like that, how to act. You went over Big Mama's house for Thanksgiving. You went over Big Mama's house for comfort. All of these different things, and sort of the nucleus of the family. As she got older, she was the wise woman. This was way back. This was like Big Mamas of my time, like my Big Mamas. Okay. Now you don't got Big Mamas. You got, they got all kind of other names, anything but to be a grandmother, because you're 35 as a grandmother. But in any case, we're not going to get it spin off into that. So in the video clip, which I'm not going to play here, there was a man who was going on and on, basically worshiping the back feet of these hyenas, talking about how he wouldn't have been the man that he was if it hadn't have been for a pack of hyenas that was raising him, and all of this other kind of stuff. And, BWs are the matriarchs of America, and, they're taking care of everything, and we need to give them a break, and they need, a day of rest. And, what I'm saying? Who else had got a day of rest according to the Bible? God. Anyway. But we're going to look at her qualifications for being the matriarch of anybody. Because if you let her tell it, she is the matriarch of everybody. She's been the backbone and leading the black community since time immemorial, right? She's been the backbone. She's been the strong one. She's been the independent one. She is the one that has held everything on her shoulders. She is the one who has made everything possible. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Number one, spiritual value. Grade D. Probably should be D for demon time. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep for that little nugget. Spiritual value, you get a D. Because usually along with spiritual value comes a set of morals and a moral compass. And you have none. Your spiritual value is in the gutter. And when you do show some type of spirituality, it's demon time. Many of you have taken the left-hand path in a more conscious way. You practice all types of witchcraft. You practice all types of so-called root work, whatever. That is the spiritual path of BWs in our community. Either that or they have none, or they have a false adherence to Christianity or something. A very false adherence. I did a show not that long ago that depicted or that described how the Black church was sort of the spiritual base of the Black gynocracy in our community. So I'm not going to go over that one. But your spiritual value is grade is a D. And the only reason I didn't give an F is because some of you actually do believe in some type of higher power and try to teach your children that or adhere to that in some way, shape, or form. But the vast majority, not at all. Because if your spiritual value was intact, all of the rest of the things would be intact, and they are not. They are sorely lacking. And then where are the wise women? You're not wise anymore. You're foolish. This is a part of spiritual value. You're foolish. You don't have any honor. You don't have any integrity. You don't have a good moral compass. You don't have a good sense of right and wrong. You don't have accountability. You don't have any of those things. Anything that would make for a good spiritual, a healthy spiritual base, you don't have it. You spend a lifetime lying and cheating and scheming and stealing, trying to get over, trying to one up something or someone, trying to get something out of somebody, trying to finesse something out of somebody. These are all highly dishonest practices. So there's no way that a group of women that routinely engage in those types of practices and preach it among one another could possibly have a healthy spiritual base. Not to mention that most of you have some type of mental issue going on, some type of personality issue going on, bad emotional health, all of that. So let me go right into that. Health. Grade F. We're going to go into the physical one. Most Black women would be considered obese in this country. It is what it is. Not every single one, of course, but enough for it to be a problem among the group of women. To be noticed that most of us are rather severely overweight, anywhere from 30 or 50 pounds to 100 pounds or more overweight. And we congratulate each other about it. You congratulate people like Lizzo. You congratulate women who obviously are not leading physically healthy lives. And when you're physically unhealthy, you're usually emotionally unhealthy. If you've ever watched the show 600 Pound Life, they always send those people to therapy. And the reason why they send those people to therapy is because there is no way that you have a healthy mentality and a healthy outlook on life and a healthy outlook on yourself and you're 726 pounds. It's just not possible. There's something happening with you. There's something going on inside of you that when you look in the mirror or you go about your day, you can justify all of these bad practices and bad health practices. You can justify that to yourself. You can look in the mirror and say you thick when you're above a size 26. When you can't find jeans to fit you anymore. Instead of working out, you invest in all of these body shapers, and it's got to go up to 10x to fit around you and all. I'll be seeing them little ads, y'all on them little ads on Facebook and all that kind of stuff where they show the little body shapers and she be big as a house. And then they'll somehow, vacuum pack her into one. instead of getting somewhere and put down all them big Deborahs and them Pepsis and go somewhere and work out. And then wouldn't nobody have to, grease you up like a seal and slide you into some shapewear. And then your emotional health is just as bad because the outside reflects what's inside. And since your spiritual value is a D for demon time, is it a wonder? So your emotional well-being is always precarious. You always got some type of personality disorder. You always got some type of emotional disorder. You always got some type of mental disorder that's undiagnosed that you don't see about because you think the behavior that go with the mental disorder is cute. So your health value is a whole F because you are not healthy from the inside out. Let's go on. Family value, grade D. You'll have a bunch of kids, but in what condition? I almost gave you an F for this one, but I just didn't want your report card to be just all Fs, I guess. One or two of you try to raise your children right. The other ones don't care. The single mother epidemic is out of hand. Mainly because the women of our community think that is a valid family structure. They'll actually go ahead and plan for that family structure. I detail how that happens in my video, how she plans single motherhood. Many of our sisterins plan this out. They think that's a valid form of a family structure, to be the only parents, to maybe put the father on child support if they can, and raise the child on their own. Then get to complain about how difficult it is to raise children on your own. Then they get to blame all the men about running out on their families when this is something that you decided. You knew that you was going to be 36 by the time you wanted your first child. You were not going to be married, but you still wanted to be a mother, hence single motherhood that you planned. And due to the way you disregard this family value, this is more than halfway why our community is the way that it is. Because without strong family structure, you can't have a strong community at all. It just doesn't work. Moving right along, appearance. We just got through talking about this grade F. You twerk and dance and you're inappropriate everywhere. So F. Just got through talking about the True Kitchen incident, where they were hashtagging it Twerkgate, where you twerked all over that man's restaurant and then didn't want nobody to tell you what was going on. I have personally done videos where they were twerking on minors, babies, public, all types of inappropriate behavior. Not only the twerking and the dancing, but you're extra confrontational, you loud, you're angry, you're rambunctious, you're ridiculous. A lot of low-class behavior you like to engage in and don't mind that it gets caught on film. You either somewhere having some type of illicit sexual activity on camera, or you fighting, or you doing something crazy on camera. It's too many of you to ignore it. It's not just the same 5 chicks. It's not just the same 100 chicks. And I've seen you do this kind of mess at every socioeconomics level. I've seen the so-called high-class women engaging in some fighting online, on TV. What are you doing? So your appearance value, an F. dwelling. We talked about that. You keep your house energy in a complete disarray. Are you truly qualified to be the matriarch of anybody? When you keep the house energy in complete chaos, can't nobody get no rest. When they come in there, the only person that sleep good is you. Your man don't sleep good. Your kids don't sleep good. Nobody's on a schedule, no structure, no nothing. If somebody try to impose a structure, you get on your high horse about how you not gonna do nothing and how you not gonna listen. So your dwelling is not a sanctuary. It's a hellhole of your making. Move right along. Mobility. You get a C because you're mobile, but the community is not. You find ways to be mobile. You find ways to achieve mobility in society, but the rest of the community does not benefit off of it when you find these different ways. When you find ways to be involved in the community does not improve. You find ways to be involved in lawmaking, in the judicial system. You find ways to move about in the society, but the Black community does not benefit when you do that. So grade C because you do it, but everybody else doesn't do it. And you actually use everybody else as the stepping stool for you to get to achieve what you want to achieve. You don't even care if the rest of the community can do that or not, or whether or not you benefit them. Education value, you get a C and an F. You get a C for you because you'll enroll in school, you'll go to school, you'll get some type of certification, associates, bachelor's. You might go even and get a master's degree, but you don't care about if your children get it, specifically your boys. That's where the F comes in at. Because again, you're doing this. You benefit. You benefit. You go to school. You make sure you can get loans and grants and this and that and all of these different things that can facilitate you getting a higher education so that you can make more money. But you dare your kids to get this same education, specifically your boys, because you'll actually propel your daughters to follow into your footsteps. Your boys, you don't care. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. About how you don't care about anybody's education but yours. So this is how you get a C and an F. Because it's a bunch of you with degrees, but to what end? You got degrees, but your children are functionally illiterate. You can point to a degree on the wall, but you can't help your kids with their homework. You make it make sense to me. Still think she deserved to be the matriarch of America? And that's not a good position anyway, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. Profession value, D. Because you got all that education to get a job. Goofy. You start bootleg entrepreneurial businesses, consulting. Yeah, you realize that's just talking to people, right? That's not really getting a skill or getting some type of product that you perfect and sell to the public. I'm a business consultant, so people got to pay you to come talk to you about how to get a business started, but where your business at? And then let's not get into the other side of profession, what you profess to be about. What you are professing that you're going to do, how you are going to benefit the world that you live in. You get an F for that one. Because you made your position known there, haven't you? That you're not going to benefit nobody but you. And everybody else can kick rocks, right? Leisure value, you get an F because you feel like all of your leisure is to, again, be involved in some type of illicit sexual thing or somewhere making a fool out of yourself. So your leisure time is spent going on girl trips so you can go get ran through in the Bahamas. Like don't nobody know that's what you're doing. Or you spend all your time on social media with all of your dysfunction there to show, and you think it's funny. That's your leisure time. That's what your leisure time consists of. Or doing some type of drug. And engaging in some sort of destructive behavior. So your leisure is an F, because your leisure is just as destructive as all of your other time. And finally, wealth value, grade F, because altogether, your collective net worth is what, 0? You do not procure any generational wealth. You make all of those strides in education. You make all of those strides to get a job, to try to have some type of career. But none of it moves the community forward at all. But you the matriarch of society. And then y'all sat there and was like, not realizing that being the matriarch of America is not a good position, you mammy. That's Mammyism. You would take any kind of thing that even sound like a compliment, and it's not even a compliment, it's an insult. You should have been insulted. That man sat there in that clip and called y'all all mammies, and he didn't even know he was doing that. He thought he was giving you some type of compliment, some type of accolade. And you thought you were receiving some type of accolade also. You don't even know when you're being insulted. That's Mammyism. The mammies on the plantation was the matriarchs also. Everybody came to her to get answers, to get permission, to get a blessing, to get their punishment. And everything that mammy did was under the direction of a master. And you in that same position. So maybe you are the matriarch, the mammy of America. Maybe you are. All right. Peace out. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.